My name is Alan Goodman. I'm the founder of a Goodman's Desserts. So we specialize in butter cookies with glaze, lemon cookies with glaze, a s'mores cookie, and a bread pudding. I didn't give you the adult version. This is the regular version. But the adult version has bourbon, vanilla rum, or Hennessy.
Oh my.
Oh no, we should have had the adult version.
Yeah.
We'll raise that at a later time, absolutely. But the goodies are in the boxes. Feel free to dig in. So I've been baking since the age of 12, under duress. So I told my parents that I was going to the library after school. I was actually going to play basketball. And when I got busted, my mom put me on punishment. And my punishment was to help her bake and cook in the kitchen. And so I learned to love baking from that. And I was entrusted with the family recipes. And I've gone now from baking with my mom under duress to baking for the Milwaukee Bucks, the world champs.
Wow.
I heard you were connected to the Bucks, so that's true.
Absolutely.
Critical question, what type of bread pudding do you make?
Yeah.
So the bread pudding I make is either the plain one that you guys have, and I bake the alcohol in. So it's, bourbon is baked in the bread pudding, and it's sweet enough so that you don't need any sauce or anything. You can just eat it. Cold, warm, however you want it. Vanilla rum, and then Hennessy as well.
Jerry likes to drizzle bourbon on top of it, so it's okay if he
Absolutely.
does that.
You drizzle bourbon on anything. I'm a fan of that. Absolutely.
Help you sleep at night a little bit, perhaps, David?
Yes.
You do yours at 9 a.m. though.
No judgment. Okay, so
How did you decide, with your mom doing the cooking, how did you decide to turn this into a business?
yeah, so I worked in corporate for about 20 or so years, and
As?
as a number of things. I was a Six Sigma black belt, so process improvement stuff.
That's up your alley.
Yeah.
Continuous improvement.
Yeah, I have a finance background, so I was in financial services and client management. And so worked some long hours, and I decided if I'm gonna put in this much time, I should be putting it into myself and something I love to do. And, in the dessert industry, it's like a $60 billion industry. And think about it, every milestone we've had in our lives ends with a dessert, right? It's either birthday, a wedding, baby shower, and it can change the energy of the room as it's on my banner. I mean, if you have a bad dessert at the end of a nice event, you remember that. Like, that was a beautiful wedding. That cake was terrible though.
And Alan, you have a major contract with the Bucks. How do you scale this business? What else are you doing to scale?
Right, so I'm actually a solopreneur. Right, so I bake out of a commercial kitchen, and then I ship desserts, I do curbside, or I deliver. But I'm starting to work with a co-manufacturer now to make the product for me so that I can make more relationships like with the Bucks. I work with Marquette. So I want to spend more time using my corporate experience that I've spent in front of clients to do that, to build the business. And I can only do that if I'm not in the kitchen as well.
So when you discuss building the business, what is the greatest need in that respect?
Yeah, I would say it's one is working with the co-manufacturer and getting that inventory built up so that I'm not scrambling to kind of get, make cookies and get them out. The other thing is the packaging, because the other part of this is getting into the wholesale market, right? So I need to get my packaging acceptable for that market. And then obviously, fortunately being on the show, the exposure and marketing is the biggest piece.
Having tasted your product at a Bucks game, and I can tell you, you've got a phenomenal set of recipes.
Thank
so
you.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
But to build on Joanne's question, how can we best help you? What is your bottleneck? Where do you need the help?
Yeah, so really the help is the exposure and marketing piece that's part of the help. And then really the other part is just the scaling. So having the funding to get the first PO with my co-manufacturer and get that inventory. So I always look at things as a 10,000 cookie scenario. Like, that's in my head, right? So if somebody comes and says, hey, we need 10,000 cookies, am I prepared to deliver that, right? Only when I finalize this deal with a co-manufacturer will I be able to say, hey, we need 10,000 cookies. So having the funding to be able to build that inventory to do that is key. And I actually learned that when I was making the Bucks order during the playoffs. And I was in the kitchen for a few nights doing it. I'm watching the road games. I got my laptop there and I'm watching the game while I'm doing it. But I'm also thinking, like, okay, this isn't sustainable for me to spend all this time making these cookies. And my time is probably better spent being out getting more customers. And so as long as the co-manufacturer can get the product exactly as the recipe states, which they have been, we've done some test runs, then I'll be comfortable with it.
Anyone who hasn't tried one of these should try it.
Oh, I'm a fan.
I haven't.
I took a taste knowing what it tastes like, so I just.
This frosting on here is so awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for the time. I appreciate it.